Blessed are the meek. Friday, Isaiah 29:13 through 21. Pardon my day off look. Man, it stood out to me this during this reading was that it said that the fear of, well, just the fear of God was a commandment taught by men. And I was like, what does that mean? Why is God moving so powerfully against the people who do that? And I just found that in Matthew chapter 15, Jesus quotes this passage. The Pharisees come to him and say, man, your disciples are breaking the traditions of the elders, not Torah, but the tradition of the elders, because they don't wash their hands before they eat. And man, Jesus says, you guys, he gets on to them about how they're keeping money away from their parents because they say that this money they say that's devoted to God, so they don't have to help their parents with the money. So they're breaking the commandment, honor your father and mother, so they can basically use the traditions of the elders to keep their own money. So Jesus says, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Teaching teaching these things as commandments taught by men. And he says, man, it's not the food that goes in you that makes you unclean, it's what comes out of you that makes you unclean. Not rituals and commandments taught by men that make you right before God, but hearts humbled before God. The fear of God as a commandment taught by men exalts people to the place of God, that they can do these things, keep these commandments, and be worthy. It's like building a tower to heaven with our good works and telling God we're good enough. Or in the language of our passage we read, it's clay telling the potter, I make me. You're the clay. I make things into what they need to be. And our passage tells us that God's going to silence that voice. And the ones who will receive his blessing are the blind, the deaf, the poor, the ones who know their need. Like Jesus said, I came for the sick. And so I ask myself, am I aware of my need? And so am I grateful for what God has given me? Or am I building a tower to God through my works? The only work I have to do now is surrender. I want to walk with God from the inside out, not from the outside in. My external efforts do matter, but they do matter when they're in line with godly motives. James 4 says, what causes quarrels and wars among you is that you don't have, and you do not have because you do not ask, but you ask and don't receive because you ask with the wrong motives to spend them on your passions. Friendship with the world is enmity with God. And back around to this worldly idea, the friendship of the world, that we can make our own way, make our own identity, build our own things that are external. I am in need for God to change my heart. He did change my heart. I needed him to change my heart. He did. I need him to guide me to walk in the new heart that he's given me. I'm so grateful that I'm not the sum of my external actions. I am not the sum of my external actions, for better or for worse. But I am the sum. My identity is found in the greatness of God's love for me. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the land.